Hey, what's up guys? Ken here from the Retro Toy Escapades channel in Malaysia. Firstly, before I get into the video, I just want to thank all of you guys. Okay, you guys out there who follow me for helping to take this channel past the 1000 subscribers mark. That's right, it's finally done so. And that's a huge deal for me, and it just makes me want to make even more crazy and awesome stuff here that I hope that you guys are going to enjoy. Today on the channel, I'm checking out the vintage Masters of the Universe Land Shark. The Land Shark's been getting a lot of press lately because the updated version just came out as part of the new MOTU Origins line. Well, it's come out in some countries so far, but here in Malaysia, there's just no sign of it yet. That's right, guys. We just don't have it yet, We just don't have it yet. So anyway, I've just been content to see all these pictures on social media of other people getting their shipments and at the same time being left to wonder when, if ever, will we get ours. In the meantime, I'm pulling out this vintage Land Shark, the original one from the 80s, to check out. And I hope that this video is also helpful to all of you guys out there who never owned it and who just got the new one and are interested in knowing how it measures up to the original. So let's get to it. Now, I would say that the Land Shark is memorable for being just a totally awesome vehicle design for the bad guys. And as I recall, also having a completely ridiculous commercial for it back in the 80s. Ridiculous, but still undeniably fun. Now, I remember the narrator's voice in the video going something like Land Shark, to announce its presence. And then the Land Shark gets totally lucky by chancing upon what is probably MOTU's lamest character, Mekaneck. Okay, yeah. And Mekaneck shows zero heroics by running away, screaming, help me, He-Man, help me, He-Man, just a completely useless character. And the creators seem to go out of their way to remind us just how lame he is. Yeah. In fact, you know what? I'm putting up the link for that commercial in the description box below. So stop this video for a moment, go check that video out, and then come back right here. Now notice how Mekaneck isn't even being rushed out yet in the Origins line. We've even got much more obscure characters like Ninja, but no sign of Mekaneck yet. Look, nobody cares about Mekaneck. Okay, I've had this Land Shark unit in my collection for something like 8 years now already, and it's been on display like this with Skeletor in the driver's seat for many years as well. But now I'm taking it out for a review, and I sure hope nothing crumbles. Okay, so we've got a lot of destruction out of there, and one thing that I did notice is that the tank tread area appears to be green in color. But in all the pictures that I've seen, this is supposed to be blue. And I'm not sure if it was blue when I first got it, or if it was like this already, but it's likely that the heat and the climate conditions probably caused the plastic to change colors over all this time. I mean, that's possible, right? If any of you have one of these vintage Land Sharks in your collection, maybe you could check it out for me and let me know if the tank treads are blue. Okay, I actually thought that the front section of the Land Shark was an actual shark fused in together with metal parts. That would have been cool, right? But it's more likely just an entirely shark-shaped mechanical vehicle, especially when you see so many mechanical parts and panels here on the upper part of the mount area. Now, the vehicle is actually made out of pretty hard plastic. There's nothing here that feels cheap. The jaws, though, are rubber. Okay, so, if you stuff your figures in there to get chewed on, you don't have to worry about the paint getting chipped off. And that's the interior of the Land Shark's mouth. You see a very generous amount of space there in which you could probably stuff like half an action figure. Right. Now, you notice that they went with stickers on the eyes. Now, those eyes look pretty real, actually, and not mechanical. So I'm still wondering if this thing was put together by Skeletor from parts of a real shark. What do you guys think? Now they went with stickers for the eyes, so if you get a loose unit with the stickers peeled off, then this thing would probably look, more like just a mechanical monster with slightly less of a shark's personality. We also get stickers on the control panel and over on the back area here where the engine is. And we get these huge cannons on the sides, which can be rotated upwards in case there's an attack from the skies. Like say for instance, if the Talon fighter or the Wind Raider was swooping down, and then these cannons could just blast them like yeah, just blast them out of the sky. As you can see, the cannons can also be detached. And what I like about them is that, while they look like they could have gone with matching designs for the set, these are in fact distinctively different cannons. Now, the handle on one of the cannons on my unit is actually broken, but these do have handles. In fact, if you're lucky enough to have some of the 12-inch MOTU characters like Megator, these could also work as handheld weapons, for those huge figures. Okay, then we get to the driver's compartment, and I'm actually surprised that this section, which is like the headrest for the seat, is a removable piece. Now, why is it removable? I do not know. Also, this section of the engine, which is like the engine cover actually, let me get to it and try and give you a close-up. Okay, very nice detailing, and the silver matches with the color on the cannons. Also, no idea why it's removable, other than the fact that, kids obviously like to disassemble and assemble things, and maybe also to give collectors of the future more easily lost parts to search for on the secondary market. Okay then, now it's time to check out the vehicle undercarriage. Now, we have two rubber tires here on this end at the back of the vehicle, and there's one single plastic tire in the front under the shark's mouth. Yeah. We also see the manufacturer's stamp, which says Mattel 1984, Mexico. Now, I know that back in the 80s, He-Man toys were made primarily in Malaysia, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and even the US. But this could be the first one I remember seeing from a factory in Mexico. Okay, so we have Skeletor back in the driver's seat, seated comfortably, and you see that the Landshark has these two sections that are like handlebars for the driver to hold on to, so he doesn't get flung out when this thing is moving at high speed. Now, Skeletor is able to get his hands around the handles smoothly, and this in fact looks pretty good on display like this. Yeah, what do you guys think? Now, I went back to the mini comic Bible to research the first appearance of the Landshark. It actually turns up for the first time in the Battle for Roboto storyline. And actually, this is a really good story with a lot of things happening, and I'll probably get it reviewed at some point on the channel. Anyway, the Landshark turns out is just hanging out there for Skeletor to jump into and proceed to attack Castle Grayskull. This panel here is the vehicle's first appearance, and you also see Too Bad getting on board at the back of the vehicle. The actual toy doesn't actually allow placement for an extra figure though, but it would be great if it did, right? Okay, now it's time to check out the Landshark in action. So what you gotta do is basically move the vehicle along, and you'll watch the jaws of the shark start to open and close. That's so cool, man. Now, the effect doesn't seem to work if you were to just push the vehicle along at high speed. It doesn't seem to get the mouth opening and closing. So what you need to do is still pretty much press down on where the driver's seat section is every time you move the vehicle, and then you'll get the jaws opening. Oh, look, it's Mekaneck. What's he doing here? Oh, Mekaneck. Oh no! He-Man! He-Man! Help me! Help me! Help! Fool! There is no help, only death. You know, there's one thing that I don't get about that commercial with the land shark and Mekaneck. Oh, by the way, you guys have watched it already, right? And yeah, so Mekaneck's primary weapon is this mechanized club that he holds, right? What the hell is he even doing with it, and why didn't he use it to save himself, right? I mean, he could have done what Luke did with the Rancor in Return of the Jedi and shoved the thing in between the land shark's jaws to prevent himself from being eaten. But he didn't think about that, I guess, and that's why Mekaneck is no longer with us. So anyway, guys, that's the video. I did have a lot of fun making it as always, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. So drop me a comment and let me know what you thought of it. I want to hear from you guys, okay, definitely. And do share this video out and support me by subscribing to the channel. Hey, thanks everyone. I'll catch all of you guys again real soon.